Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and it's Chelsea against Fluminese in the Club World Cup semi-final. And we've got fans in the stadium. This is good. Now, apparently, the reason there are fans in the stadium is because some people paid like $300 for a ticket. And then last Thursday, they started charging $25 a ticket. And basically, you got 4 free tickets if you worked there. So there's going to be a big crowd there because they've basically reduced the price massively. They've given loads of free tickets out as well. I think it was in the Athletic or something at the weekend. I was reading it. But look, there is money at stake here. The Club World Cup, Chelsea against Fluminese. Yeah, look, another opportunity for this tournament to hopefully deliver something that looks like football. PSG Real Madrid's obviously going to be an interesting game tomorrow night, but hopefully this can deliver something as well. Chelsea have definitely benefited from an easier side of the draw, but they line up with Sanchez, Gusto, Chalobah, Tosin, Cucurella, Casido, Enzo, Palmer, and then Neto and Kunko, and João Pedro starting up front. So has Delap lost his place already when it comes to Chelsea? He's not even on the bench. What's happened to Delap? Have I missed something there? Maybe a Chelsea fan can tell me something. What's happened to Delap? Has he picked up an injury or something already? But yeah, it'd be nice to see Pedro starting. Always nice to see new players. Oh, he's suspended. He got a yellow card. How did he get? It must have picked up 2. So yeah. That's where we are with that. I'd expect Chelsea to win. The Premier League should be strong enough against the Brazilians. Thiago Silva up against his former club. I don't know much about Fluminense. I did know a bit about Palmeiras, Botafogo, and Flamengo, but I don't know a lot about Fluminense, if I'm being honest. So I'm probably going to have to I'm going to have to rely on many of you. Fabio, Ignacio, Silva, Thiago Santos, Rene, Nonato, Bernal, Hercules, Guga, Arias, and Cano. I might be able to just find something out for you here, but I hope you're all doing well. They're currently 6th in the league. And their best players are Thiago Silva, Arias, who is a Colombian professional footballer. I knew I'd heard of him. Ganzo. Cano is a forward, looks about 90. I know I did this before. This is quite good. Fluminense players by value. Bloody hell. So Arias is 27 and he's worth 17 million. What else have they got? Hercules, central midfielder. Is he actually playing? No. That's helpful. Yeah, okay. We'll just suck it and see. Let's just crack on. Let's crack on. Where's my timer? Oh, I've missed it. We're up and running now. Camera's about bloody miles away. Where's this bloody cameraman? Zooming in on a bloody Samsung 25 from the car park. Mate, sort it out. That's bloody miles away. You can't show a game of football like that. Right, bear with me. The timer is miles out. Okay, should be about right now. There we go. Cameras on the moon, says a Toro. Only a ghoul would root for Chelsea. I think Chelsea will win. I don't think there's any doubt about that. NK says, any new Lego builds? Did you see my Instagram story? It's very good. Oh, the quality of this camera is rubbish. I'm not happy about this. I'm going to be honest. We're at the MetLife Stadium in New York, by the way. A very big stadium. There are quite a lot of empty seats still there, but there's a lot more than you would expect from this tournament at this game. The PSG Real Madrid game is being played here as well. So it's 2 games in 2 days. And then I think the final is here as well, if I'm correct, at 8 o'clock on Sunday. But Chelsea earning good money doing this. Very good money. I can't believe they do the countdown from 10 to the kickoff. The whole tournament is a gimmick, says Nemanja. Yeah, it has been commercialised a little bit too much, but I don't know why Chelsea aren't playing in blue as well. I feel like the white kit's more of a kit clash than blue would have been. I'm not. I'll tell you what. They need to sort this out for the World Cup. I am not liking... If this is the premiere... This is where the World Cup's going to get played, you know. I think this is where the World Cup final is going to be. They need to do something about this fucking camera. They get a better lens on it. I do not like it. Cross comes in from Fluminese. Wild shot there. He's in on the back post. And Chelsea will clear it. Adil says, hi Mark, I sent you an email answering why no one wants Rashford with a full presentation. Hope you can check it out. Deleted it straight away, mate. Just I saw it, looked at it, and I thought, I ain't reading that. And just deleted it. Thanks for the super chat, though. Dino says, did you see Maresca getting owned by Brazilian media? No, Dino, I didn't see that. Mark, when are you back on FIFA? Dylan, I can't do my FIFA stream. I told you, I said this on the United Stand. I logged on the weekend just to have a little bit of a practice, and my managerial status was critical, despite being in the playoffs, in the Championship. So I thought, you know what, I'm not doing this on a live stream. I've been here before. So I played the next game, won 4-0, and got sacked by email after. It's broken. It's the second time on a career mode that's happened to me on EAFC 24. Been sacked for no good reason because I didn't bloody wipe the bloody president's arse. Some objective. It makes it unplayable on career mode. I should have turned it off. I should have turned managerial. So I won't be back doing that now, which is a shame. And I'm not starting again. I must go back to Adel and say I haven't read your email yet. But I will say this. If someone sends me an email about stats that's more than a paragraph long, I won't read it. Good play by Fluminese here. Puts it out wide. Good tempo. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Every team I've seen from Brazil, what they lack in maybe quality, they match Premier League teams in intensity. They are very, very quick the way they play. No American is taking this thing seriously. It's poorly marketed, too expensive. Most Americans only care about the Champions League, the World Cup and the Prem, says Irish Ryan. Thank you very much. Yeah, let us know what your thoughts are on it, wherever you're watching from. Genuinely interested. Kazwan says, what's your prediction for the game? Kazan, what's your prediction for the game? Chelsea win. Yeah. That's a nasty tackle, you know. That's a scissor tackle, technically, by Enzo Fernandez. Gets the ball, but it's a nasty tackle. I'd book him for that. It's not a nice tackle, that. The best way to watch a game, says Marcel. Rest in peace, Diogo and Andre. Did you see that today, actually? I mean, I wasn't going to bring it up, but you've brought it up there. I wouldn't have thought to bring it in. I was just on Twitter this afternoon, and it came up on my timeline from Sky about the crash. And basically, it's been, I mean, I don't think it should have been reported. Well, I don't know. You tell me. But basically, it said that from the investigation so far, they think Jota was driving, and it appears that the car was driving significantly quicker than the speed limit. And I thought, I understand there has to be an investigation. But what purpose does that information serve publicly? It's a tragedy. And people have lost their lives, they've lost their husbands, they've lost their child, they've lost their dad. I understand there has to be an investigation, but I don't understand why that has to be public. But then, I suppose thinking it through, it's such a big thing that's happened that people want to know what happened. And as somebody said in the chat there, you could argue that by letting it be known that they were driving fast, speeding is dangerous. But there's somebody just gone speeding down my road now. I heard it 10 minutes ago. It's people do that. That's not going to stop people driving quick in a car. I just think it only happened on Thursday, and you know how the internet works. You know how vile people work, and they'll start justifying saying bad things now, like it was his. What will get said, and I just think you're telling me everybody's a look. I don't want to get into the conversation basically, but I just think it's a tragic loss of life, and in a footballing sense, we've lost a really, really, really good player in their prime, and obviously his brother was with him as well. But it just worries me when that sort of thing starts getting put out publicly, because I don't think it's going to do a lot of good for people that are grieving in Liverpool Football Club, because there will be some arseholes out there that start putting out horrible stuff. How many of us have driven in a car a little bit quick and got away with it? I'm not condoning driving quick, but for those people out there saying, wow, we shouldn't have done this, shouldn't have done that. Like Space Cowboy said, he's dead. Let the man rest. Let the family, friends and fans grieve. Exactly. And I don't think that really massively helps at the moment. People might disagree with me, but it doesn't change anything, does it? Yo Mama says, Mark, the reason why the stadium looks kind of full is because the cheapest tickets for the game started at $447 and went down all the way to $13. Yeah, but I'm glad that you've put that in, mate, because I said 300 and then 50. So that's even worse. So there was an article last week where basically they've had such a problem shifting tickets that these tickets for this semi-final actually went a few weeks ago for $447 and they weren't shifting. So they've reduced them down to ridiculous prices and given a load of people like 4 free tickets each. But it's really shit on the people who paid $400 a few weeks ago, and then other people are getting the same ticket for £8. But look, they may, in all honesty, they may as well give them away for free and try and fill it. I mean, I was in New York last month. I don't know whether I told anybody. MetLife Stadium isn't in central New York, is it? It's not actually that easy to get to. It takes about a bloody hour. Thank you very much to Marcel. Thank you very much for that. Thanks for your super chats. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. I am going to do Real Madrid PSG tomorrow, yeah. Chelsea just starting to find a footway into this game now. Thanks again, Mark, says Dan Ventures Outdoors. I need to have a look at that YouTube channel. Good ball out wide here. Bit of time for Gusto. My eyes have adjusted now. Into the cross, gets time. Enzo, good block. That could, I tell you what, if that had dropped somebody better, that could have been a goal. Although Enzo has got quite a good goal record, hasn't he? Fluminese a little bit wasteful here. What are your thoughts on Wayne Rooney joining Match of the Day? Says Chubby. Look, as far as pundits go, he ain't bad. I mean, I think he comes out with some crap and he comes out with some pearlers. So, you know. I mean, it's another ex-Man United player. I suppose that will change, though, wasn't it? When I was growing up, you used to get a lot of Liverpool players because they'd been good. But, yeah, if you're an ex-Man United player now, you're nailed on punditry work, aren't you? Robert says, please try to remember these games are also being played at midday on a weekday when 90% of the people that live there are working. Very good point, Robert, actually. The time in New York at the moment is 3:15 in the afternoon. On a Tuesday. Do you think the introduction of the Football Governance Bill will improve the game and stop the elite from having it all their own way, says Ben? Oh, can I just say something here? We're not afraid to talk about topics in football beyond the football. Obviously, we did the video reaction, whatever you want to call it, tribute about Jota on Thursday, and lots of you watched that and left your tributes, which was, you know, nice of you. On Saturday, I put up a video about Thomas Partey being charged with 4 different counts of rape and whether Arsenal had handled it well. Surprisingly, not many content creators around Arsenal said anything about that, even though they're more than happy to do videos about Mason Greenwood and stuff. They stayed very quiet about their own player being charged, which I found a little bit hypocritical. We've spoken about VAR at length. Today in the UK, there was a bill in Parliament to vote to have 10 Premier League games a season free to air. So basically 10 Premier League games a season would be on Freeview TV. The MPs voted against it. Yeah. Incredible, really, that, isn't it? But they voted against it. So, as It's Me said, the elite are the elite. What I didn't understand is, though, why are we voting to have 10 free Premier League games a season? You know what you can do? You can shove that up your arse. How's about it's 2025 and in the UK we still can't watch games at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, even though the vast majority of Premier League games take place at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. It's 2025 and we are still being inflicted draconian laws that came into place in the 60s to help smaller clubs get fans go and watch it when other clubs were playing. So if Arsenal were playing at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon in the 60s, it might make you go and watch Leyton Orient. It's just absolutely beautiful. And the people I speak to, whether you're Swedish, Indian, Canadian, you talk to them and you say, we actually cannot watch games at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. There's nowhere legitimately to watch it. And obviously people find ways, but there is no legitimate way to watch it in 2025. And yet you can live in Sweden and watch every Premier League game, but in England you can't. So if Arsenal play Bournemouth at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, which invariably they will, their capacity is only 11,000. You only get 1,000 away fans. So only 1,000 UK Arsenal fans can legitimately watch an Arsenal game at 3 o'clock on a Saturday. Now, of course, millions of them find a way, but the British government is so stupid, they haven't even got rid of that yet. It's madness. I can't believe we live in a world where we've got AI and all this modern technology. You know, there's robots that can wipe your own arse, but I can't watch Man United play Burnley at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. It's disgusting. So you can shove your 10 Premier League free games right up your arse and sort out the 3 p.m. blackout rule. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. It's the biggest injustice in football. Anyway, free kick to Chelsea. It's a long way out. Nkunku playing. Probably putting himself in the shop window, to be fair. This is a clever move by Chelsea. Clever move by Chelsea to play Nkunku. Make him look good and then sell him. Mark, let's be real. More problems than football, says Joe Wright. Well, yeah, but this is a football channel and we're talking about football. So, hi, Mark. Did you see what happened to Musiala? Yeah, we were doing a watch-along for it, Dylan. I said at the time, though, didn't I say at the time that could be 4 months? And everyone was going season ender. He'd be out for 12 months. I said he'd be back by Christmas. If he's lucky, he'll be back by Christmas if it's a clean break. And lo and behold, he's going to be back in 4 months, which is great news. I remember Antonio Valencia doing it. And just because their legs hanging off like that, people think, oh, season ender. Sometimes the worst injuries are the ones that you can't see. Apparently it's like that if you get dumped, but obviously I've never been dumped. The first cut is the deepest. Baby, I know. Do you want Nkunku at United? No, Robert. Absolutely not. I don't want another Chelsea player for 55 million that's good when they're fit, but it's never fit. That may be criminal. Absolute criminal. Lovely play by Neto. I do like Neto. Good cross. Edge of the box. He's going to shoot. What a goal. What a goal. Pedro. Is it Pedro? Yeah. What a goal. What a goal. What a goal by Pedro that is. Right behind it. Curled it into the top corner, basically, from the edge of the box. It's a great goal, that is. Did he play for Fluminese before? He's apologising. He is Brazilian. And he's not... He's just scored a great goal. I mean, it's a lovely ball. Neto piling through. He did play for Fluminese in 2019 before he went to Watford. But Pedro does the work, puts the cross in, clearance, edge of the box. Look at this. That's a great goal. That is... remember when you used to be able to score goals like that with Bruno on FIFA? The R1 curler. Brilliant. That's FIFA 19 classic. Finesse. The amount of goals I scored with Bruno like that. It is. It's a lovely goal. It's artistic, that is. It's a very, very good goal. Very good goal. And, you know, already looking like a good signing for Chelsea. Fantastic finish. 1-0 to Chelsea. You don't save those, keeper. You don't save those. Finn Warthorne says, Galatasaray has reached an agreement with Osimhen. Does United even have options left? How can Galatasaray have such a window with Sane, Osimhen and Çalhanoğlu? Because they have an amazing tax rate in Turkey where you basically don't pay any tax if you're a player. Now, in the UK, if you get paid 300 grand a week, then you're only going to take home about 160. Whereas in Turkey, you probably take home most of it. So they can pay much better wages. 3 p.m. blackout is protected until 2029, says Ricky. It's disgusting. Nath Footy says, what I would give to have an Antonio Valencia type player nowadays at United. Very underrated, yeah, very good player. Government will only use high tech if it earns them dollars, says Arif. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, Chelsea playing with confidence now. 20 minutes gone, 1-0 up. Lovely goal by Pedro. How much would it cost you to watch every single game in the Premier League, Mark? I could do it. Look, I don't know. I don't use dodgy sticks or anything like that. I know how I do it, and I feel it's justifiable. But it still cost me quite a bit of money. Oh, nearly 2-0. Cross came in. Gusto gets the header, but it goes straight to the keeper. But we pay money for Sky, and we pay money for TNT, and we don't get all the games. And it used to be Amazon Prime as well for Premier League. So we used to have 3 subscriptions to watch about 20% of the games. The best time we had was COVID. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about the people that died in COVID because that would be grim. But what I'm saying is, in a footballing sense, COVID was the best coverage we ever had because I don't know why, I can't remember why they did it, but every game was on telly for that summer. So when COVID came back, they put every game on the TV. In fact, when lockdown was on, they put every game on the TV, didn't they? Yeah. Marcel says, off topic, but I kind of like the Chelsea away kit. Christian says, to watch every game here in Austria, I pay €90. I'm really shocked that in the UK it's disgraceful. Keep up the great work. Oh, it's disgusting, Christian. It's absolutely disgusting. It would be like the Austrian league. You can only watch 20% of it, but in the UK we can watch all of it. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Would you have taken Pedro at United, says Jeffrey. Honestly, he wouldn't have been my first choice, but where we are now, I'd 100% took him, yeah. All in all, my bill is £60. I get TNT with my e-contract like you, Mark. I'm not about the dodgy stick life, says Joe Wright. Some good conversations going on tonight. Ute says, think how many fewer Manchester United games will be televised if we get relegated. Stupid thing about Man United is we were absolutely shit last year and we were still the most viewed club on TV. So even though United are crap, we are like the Dallas Cowboys, aren't we? It doesn't really matter how shit we are. Loads of people still support us and watch us. Which I don't think is a good thing because the Glazers then can make money no matter how shite we are. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. You're very, very welcome. We're only 10 subscribers away from 360,000, by the way, which is good. Do you think there'll ever be an invention where you can, like... I was thinking about this today in the bath. Like... Not the bath, the shower. You don't have a bath in the summer. It's too hot. Basically, I went on a run today. A 45-minute run. And the biggest problem I have with running is the mental side. Physically, I know I can do the run. But mentally, I struggle. I can't. It's just like I hate doing it. The whole time, I'm not enjoying it. I think it's the boredom of it. It's the whole process of it. You get me to go and play five-a-side, I'll do it for 2 hours. But I can't, I just hate running. Do you think there'll ever be an invention where you can, like, just get your body to go on a run and your brain stays back and watches porn? Or Netflix or something? I don't know how you'd figure it out, but God, I'd be really fit. If I could just, I know what my body's capable of. You just press a button and go, right, actually, I've just thought of an even better thing. I wonder if there'll be machines that, or even tablets that you take a tablet and basically it does all the work of an hour's run in one tablet. You laugh at me, but I'm saying this, you know, there must be ways that you can make your body mimic a 45-minute run. Remember that slender tone thing you used to put on your chair? Lovely play by Fluminese. Oh, he's a goal. Oh, he's cleared it off the bloody line. He's cleared it off the line. Fluminese. Didn't go over the line. Cucurella. We'll come back to that in a minute. I thought it was in. It was a lovely bit of play. And it would have been game on. Milford says we can use Cunha as a false nine. Real shame that we don't play a system with a false nine, though, isn't it? False fucking nine. We play with 2 number 10s, mate. What do you want to do? 3 number 10s. False nine. sometimes I don't think people engage their brain on the team they're talking about. False fucking 9 with 2 number 10s. I think Cunha can play up front, mate. I don't think he'll be playing as a false 9. Stick him up front. Right, we're going to see this replay. It clearly wasn't over the line. You'd think they'd be there with the technology. Look at the white bit. Look at the white bit. I could tell from here it wasn't over the line. Anyway, here we go. Keeper was a bit slow there. That's nowhere near off the line. It's nowhere near over the line. Yeah. Well done, Cucurella. No, can't you remember those things? They probably still sell them. They were called Slender Tone. So somebody at my work used to have it. And you could hear it making a noise when they were at the desk. So I used to tell a joke and say, oh, look, he's got his vibrator up his arse. And I got into trouble, got called into the office for that. And I said, well, at the end of the day, it's making a buzzing noise. It could be a vibrator. And they said, well, what are you trying to say? He's made a complaint. And I said, well, something's buzzing down there. And they said, it's a Slender Tone. I said, well, that's what he's told you. But anyway, you used to put these belts on called Slender Tone that had these pulses in them that apparently triggered your stomach muscles throughout over the hours and would give you a 6-pack. But I've never heard anybody say that that it works. But I'm absolutely convinced at some point there must be something that can mimic hard intensity exercise without you actually having to do it. Sign me up for that. I'll do the old. I'll be old guinea pig on that. Razzler's given us a super chat. They're having a drinks break here, 27 minutes in. Razzler says, United are slow with Mbermo due to no competition. Last season signings like Yoro and Xerxes were quicker. A conclusion soon is needed. It is. MC Banks with a super chat says, what do you think the FC 26 rating of Delap, Pedro, Casido and Cucurella will be? They are all due upgrades. And MC, it sounds like it's bothering you more than it is the rest of the world. If I said I couldn't give a shit, then that would be the most fair answer. But in honesty, I don't remember. I'd imagine Delap will get quite a big upgrade because he was an Ipswich newly promoted striker in the last game. I can't remember what Pedro was. Casido was probably quite highly rated as well. Ethan says, have the false 9s drop in and the 10s run vertical. Why don't you take Amrim's job, Ethan? You know, I'm sure he's not thought about that. I'm in bed with flu. Meneze, sing us a song, says Parker. Jack Bingham, thank you. Welcome to the thank you very much for your super chat. Sorry. Adel says, for all of the football literally in the world, I pay 5,000 Egyptian pounds, which equates to around 74 pounds. Lovely stuff, Adel. Appreciate that. What badge is that? What badge was he going on about then? Lovely stadium, the MetLife. I tell you what, when I was in New York a month ago, it was hot. It was about 30 degrees. But apparently it gets a lot hotter. It's 36 degrees today in New York. It's hot. Shreeman, I've been doing this for 10 years. The day I put together the names Wayne and second name King and read it out is the day I'll quit. Columbia badge it was, says Gio. Thank you very much. So they've had the drinks break. They bloody need it. 36 degrees. Dougie's off to Chicago at the end of the month. Enjoy. Enjoy. Usyk versus Dubois. I've gone off but this is the thing about boxing. I could never do a boxing channel. Because it just doesn't... there's just not enough fights, you know? I did watch the F1 a little bit classic, but again, I just haven't got back into it. Milford says, we pray Mark can get so rich he can buy United. And that's never going to happen, unfortunately. I think João Pedro would be a very interesting signing for Chelsea. As I said, I did a supercomputer had Chelsea 4th, Man City 3rd, Arsenal 2nd, and Liverpool 1st next season. I think Chelsea might finish above Man City. I've got a feeling that they might. Keel Robinson says, Benny Hill app, chase models as you run. Hercules is such a cool name for such a mid player, says MC Banks. And 1 Inch Munder says, I'm just glad Sir Jim doesn't own Sky. You'd have to remortgage your house to pay his prices, and then he'd just play Chelsea games on repeat. Dan Pulker, thanks for your super chat. Appreciate that. Harris says, would you actually bid for Manchester United if you were a multi-billionaire? Well, to buy Man United, you'd need about 10 billion. So, I mean, that's a hell of a lot of wealth. That's what I mean. It's never going to happen. What's a billion? 100 million? Or 100 million? What am I talking about? A billion is 1,000 million. God, bloody hell. Send me back to school. Idiot. Yeah, a billion is 1,000 million. Yeah, it's that sort of wealth, very few people have it. Carpo says, Agate or Wharton. I think Agate will be a decent player next season, but I do like Wharton. Good play by Fluminese. Cross to the back post. Good header away. Good defending there. I think it was actually Pedro who did it. He's enjoying himself. Oh, that's late. That's late by Pedro. Still not giving any yellow cards out. B16 says, first thing you would do if you bought Pedro. Sorry, first thing you would do if you bought Man United. Clear the debt. I don't think people realise what the debt does. Al, stop putting stupid names together that I won't read. I'm never going to read first name Dixon, second name Cider. Come on. Joe Wright says, I think Chelsea and City won't finish top 4 because of this tournament. High risk of injury and burnout. I don't think this Club World Cup's going to make a massive amount of difference. I mean, at the end of the day, Man City barely played 3 weeks. So, he's given a penalty! He's given a penalty! It's a penalty to Fluminese! Oh my God! Controversy! Cucurella can't believe it! Referee says I'll check it, but I think it is. They're hugging each other. Stop complaining. We haven't seen it. Yeah, 100% penalty. Yeah. I mean, they might overturn it, but I doubt it. I doubt it. Chalobah's saying that his arm's by his side. Oh, he's going to check it on VAR. He's going to get turned over. Not going to get given now. I'd seen it hit his hand, but they haven't really shown a great angle. Now they're doing ref watch. It's going to make me throw up. Never going to get given now. If they've asked him to take a look. Well, his hand's by his side, isn't it? I've seen him given. I've seen him given. But I don't think he won't give that. Yeah, no penalty. No penalty, not given. Look, I think it could have gone either way, couldn't it? Could have gone either way. Definitely in the Champions League, that would be a penalty. In the Premier League, probably wouldn't. So, ball goes a long way, and he moves his hand towards it. You could say that. Or you could say his hand's in a natural position. Let's do a poll. Was it a penalty? Instead of everyone having a shout about it. Was it a pen? Yes or no? Let us know. Dan Polka says, complaints on Club World Cup in the United States. Any thoughts for 2026? I'm not having this anti-United States football nonsense. As I said in the last stream I did, the World Cup took place in '94. It was brilliant. Shitty games in the group stage between clubs you would never think would have big attendances had like 90,000. The World Cup will be absolutely fine. All that's happened is the United States audience aren't stupid. They know no one gives a shit about this tournament, so they're not turning up. But the World Cup, they'll definitely clear it. They'll definitely will. I think it's arrogant to say, oh, you know, the crowds are rubbish for this. Will it impact the World Cup? Who's been talking about the Club World Cup for the last month? Nobody's really interested in it. So why would you moan about people not being interested in it? Would you do a career on really old FIFA 06 instead of 26 as Christian? I'd love to do that. I just don't know how to do it. I don't think you can do it on PS5. That's never a penalty, Brazilian bridge, says MC Binks. Well, it wasn't given. Mark, will United get any sell-on funds from Alvaro deal? Yes, they will, Alvaro. First thing you would do if you bought Man United, clear the debt. What's your... Yeah, done that one. Done that one as well. Thank you very much. Robbo says it's never a man. Some of you are mental. I think he meant to say it's never a pen. World Cup will be fine. Just don't step into Philly, says Joe Wright. Apparently Philadelphia's really nice. You going to any of the Oasis gigs, says Walt. No. Funnily enough, I did get offered 2 tickets last week for Wembley, but it was standing. And I'm like, can you imagine if you were stood there trying to watch Oasis and then some bloody Man City fan starts giving you shit, going, go on, Reg. I'll be like, fuck off, put me in a box. And I don't mean a coffin. I found a brilliant YouTube video of the Cardiff concert, though. Like, literally just watch it all, even though it's not an official video. Somebody put it together from loads of different mobile phones. Really, really good. Check it out. Justin says, Clattenburg was on Women's Euros today, said a penalty shouldn't be given on live TV. Then it got given, and he said it was a great decision. It's blatant. I'm sure that made sense in your mind. I don't get that. Neto, what a player, says... yeah, I do like... that was from Awaz. I do like Neto. Good player. Who has more chance of going down, Wolves or Brentford? I think Wolves solely on the loss of Cunha. No, I think Wolves will be fine. I really do think Wolves will be fine. The manager there has gone and done a very good job in a short period of time. Obviously, they're going to miss Cunha, but I think it's good for Leeds and Burnley and Sunderland that maybe Brentford and Wolves are vulnerable. But I can't. I think Brentford have. My feeling is Brentford have made the wrong managerial choice, but it's very difficult to relegate these Premier League sides. Apparently Rashford's been back at training at Man United. Just reading it here. So, Marcus Rashford reported back for training on Monday and Tuesday, despite being given extra time away to find the new club. He trained on an individual basis at Carrington and did not take part in team training with the rest of Ruben Amorim's squad. Oh, you can see a comeback, can't you? You can see an apology and a comeback. Amorim will look so weak if he does that. He will look so weak if he does that. But you can see it. You can see it. Sorry, I just lost the live chat here. Greetings from New York, Mark, says Neil. Huge fan. I grew up in Philadelphia and it's a wonderful city. Does not deserve the slander in the chat. Go Eagles, says Neil. Chillo says, I love your reacts and career mode. Thank you very much. Low crowds is because games are played at 2 p.m. on Tuesday to accommodate Europe. Meanwhile, people here have work. Also not really promoted here, says Jose. Thank you very much. Living by the sea versus in the mountains poll, says JB. Yeah, I'll sort that in a minute. I think Fluminese's problem here is going to be scoring against this Chelsea defence. Breaking, Sancho, Juve have never been so close. Negotiation completed. The player will be a Juventus player barring complications which are not foreseeable at the moment. 25 million valuation, everything settled with United and Sancho's agent. Don't know whether the source is any good. Atalanta value Edison at 65 into direct contact. I don't know. I don't know whether that's a good source or not. Corner to Chelsea here. We are 5 minutes added on. I suppose penalty maybe. You should come out of retirement, Mark. The goalie is almost as old as you. You're a legend in the streets, says Howder. Thank you, mate. Philadelphia is like the Walking Dead. Absolute pit. What's the problem with Philadelphia? There's a Philadelphia thing going on here, and I don't really get what it's all about. Some people are defending it. Some people are saying it's not great. Who do you think is going to win between Real Madrid and PSG? Wow, Bayern Munich did well for a long time in that game. Imagine if Chelsea win the whole thing. And imagine. I mean, look, with all due respect to Chelsea, even Chelsea fans are going to laugh at this. Imagine Chelsea win the Club World Cup. When did Chelsea win the Champions League? Like, when did Chelsea win the Champions League? Was it 2021? 2021. So, if Chelsea win the Club World Cup, Chelsea fans could say we're the best team in the world. There's no Liverpool, Barcelona, Arsenal, Sporting, Napoli here. They haven't finished in the top 2 for about God knows how long. Yeah, I mean, this is the problem with the tournament. It's sort of flawed, isn't it? But you can't blame Chelsea for that. MC Bink says Philadelphia is full of homeless addicts. Okay, it's getting a bit silly now. I tell you what, though, I am very impressed with Brazilian football. This ref's been shit, though. He could have given about 2 or 3 yellow cards out. Now, United aren't playing at Philadelphia. We're playing Atlanta, Chicago, and New Jersey. I can't remember who we're playing. I know we're definitely... I think a lot of teams... I don't know, Liverpool are going Asia, aren't they? Man United just go to the States every year now. But I think Arsenal are going to Asia because they're playing Spurs there. I think Liverpool are going to Asia. Man City aren't doing anything because they're having their summer now. Chelsea, I don't think Chelsea are doing anything. Man United are going to the States. Yeah, well, that's it. That's the big clubs, really, isn't it? Chelsea, Tottenham, Man United, Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal. So Man United, I think, are the biggest Premier League club going... Well, we're not actually the biggest Premier League club because we finished 15th, but you know what I mean. We're playing Leeds before we go, and I think on the tour we're playing Bournemouth, West Ham, and I'm disappointed by that, though. I think that's really shit. Half time here, it's 1-0 to Chelsea, but I'm really disappointed with Man United's pre-season. I'm a firm believer that in life, in entertainment, things should get better. Like when I grew up, used to have Only Fools and Horses on the telly, brilliant sitcom. You know, you had things like The Office, The IT Crowd, just loads and loads of really good situational comedy series. Now we get nothing. Music was really good. It's not good now. Film was really good. It's not good now. Things are meant to get better, not worse. And when I look at United's pre-season, we're playing Leeds, West Ham and Bournemouth in the United States. Sorry, no, we're playing West Ham, Bournemouth and Everton in the United States. And I think we used to go there and play like AC Milan or Real Madrid or Barcelona or Liverpool. Why are we playing West Ham, Bournemouth and Everton? I'd rather play bloody Chicago Bulls or whoever it is in the MLS as well. I just don't know why we're playing 3 mid-table Premier League sides. Because it's our level. Daniel says, either or, the missus allowing you one night with Margot Robbie or Glazer's leaving for good. Obviously, Glazer's leaving for good. I'm loyal. And look, imagine that. If I'd be bloody public enemy number one as well. Can you imagine if that was true? One, I'd be getting a divorce. My kids would disown me. My family would disown me. And also, every Man United fan would want to beat the shit out of me. I mean, imagine that. I had the choice between getting rid of the Glazers for good or sleeping with Margot Robbie. And I chose sleeping with Margot Robbie. Who's with me? You wouldn't be able to move for punches. I'd absolutely get battered. Imagine that. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the United Stand. It's the 10 o'clock show. Didn't get a lot of sleep. Oh, what a night. What a night. Shall I start with the good news or the bad news? The good news, the bad news is the Glazers are here to stay and I had the chance to get rid of them. The good news is I had a really good night with Margot Robbie. You know? Yeah. Absolutely wouldn't pick that anyway. But, yeah, you'd have to be a really selfish twat to do that. Look up Kensington, Philadelphia and go to images, says Drew. We're all going to do it. We're all going to do it. Keep the questions coming in. Loving the show tonight. Oh, Alan says we're doing it because we are playing the Premier League series, so we only play Premier League teams. That's why United are playing who we are. Oh, do we get to win a trophy, do we? MST says, what do you think of João Pedro? He's a good player. I mean, I liked João Pedro at Brighton. I think he always had the potential to go to the next level. I did like him at Brighton. I personally think the Brighton manager might get sacked quite quick. Who do you think will be the first manager to get sacked in the Prem outside of the newly promoted teams? If you say Amorim, I get it. But I actually think I've got a few. Brighton manager, Brentford manager, Potter at West Ham, and let me have a look at the Premier League table because I've forgotten now. So, yeah, I've got Brighton manager, Brentford manager, West Ham, and yeah, I'm going to go with those three. Brighton, Brentford, or West Ham manager. I know the names, but just in case you don't. Arteta. I actually don't think Amorim will do horribly. And I also think that Ineos would be desperate not to sack him because it makes them look stupid. Bud Light. What do you think of Bud Light? I don't mind Bud Light. There was one beer I used to drink that I really liked. I can't remember it. It had a citrusy taste. I had it the other week. Can't remember what it was. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. We are going to do PSG against Real Madrid tomorrow night. Then it's the final and then the tournament's over. Thank God for that. Was it a penalty? 42% of you said yes and 58% of you said no. I think they got the right decision, but I certainly think that we have seen them give it. Here we go. They're doing it here. They're only going on doing it here, look. Interviewing players at half-time. Tosin at half-time is being interviewed. I don't know whether this is a good idea, you know. You know what? I understand why they're doing it, right? I'm going to give you the honest... Red Stripe's a lovely lager, AW. I'm going to give you an honest opinion on this, right? What does that bring to the party, right? Tosin, halfway through half-time, goes out and talks to an interviewer. People in charge of football think this is a great idea. It makes it more real. I'd rather listen to Roy Keane than Tosin. Because Roy Keane will be saying, this player's a load of shit, they should be changing this. Tosin's just going to come out and go, yeah, we're doing our best. Every cliche in the world. Can't say what I really think. You know, we'll give our best in the second half. It's just, it's taking football backwards, not forwards. Because they're never going to say anything controversial. They're just going to say scripted bullshit. So I don't think it adds something to the game. I think people think it adds something to the game, but I don't think it does. I don't think an interview with the player or a manager at half time is going to add anything. I think you're better off listening to Roy Keane. I think you're going to get more. What I've noticed over the last 10 years is that football fans want real opinion. So unless a player's going to come on and say, I tell you what, I'm trying my best out there and fucking Chalobah's shit. You know, he's nearly given a handball away. He should be playing for fucking Derby. And that's the problem. They're giving all this access to players and player cams and this, that, and the other. I don't think it adds anything at all. I think we want real conversation. We don't want gimmicks. I mean, this bloody walkout, individual players as well. That's going to end in tears. I mean, can you imagine at Anfield, it's Man United against Liverpool at Anfield, and they're doing walkouts for each player. Oh, I guarantee when Man United players are walking out, they're not going to get booed on everyone, innit? In hindsight, should United have tried Carrick? No. XH says, is there any chance of Gyökeres to United? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No chance of that. I prefer looking at tunnel cams, says Purple. I bet you do. I can't do those player cams. They make me want to throw up. Do you remember when Player Watch on the red button on Sky? I quite liked that, Josh. But it was a gimmick. Frimpy says, if I see you, it's onside. Don't ever talk about Chalobah like that. Yeah, mate, you're thick as shit. You're really thick. It was an example. I could have used any player. What my point was, it would be interesting if a player said, I'm doing my best and another player's playing shit. That was the point. I just threw a name because he's playing with Chalobah at the back. I actually think Chalobah's quite good. I would have took him at United. Mark, if the price wasn't an issue, who should the first player United sign after Mbeumo? I'd buy Rodri. Thoughts on, or Declan Rice, someone like that. Thoughts on Esteban? Is he ready for the Prem? And I think that's actually a very intelligent question, MC Binks. I think he looks really exciting, but he is 18. It's interesting actually on the Brazilian aspect because you've got Roque, who was at Barcelona and was going to be the next big thing. Now he's back in Brazil playing for Palmeiras. You've got Endrick at Real Madrid, and they're talking about whether he might get loaned out. There is, and it happens a lot with Brazil. There is a little bit of getting them too soon, and I do agree that like there is a career path, and if you buy these players at 17, 18 straight away to Real Madrid or Barcelona or Chelsea. Some players are ready at 17, 18, but I think a lot of players need a period of, development. Definitely. Garassi is a very good player. I don't know why Manchester United aren't shortlisting him. I think where Man United are on strikers at the moment, you couldn't rule it out, that's for sure. Standing in the Hall of Fame. Mark, can you please sing That Way? I've never heard of the bloody song, so I definitely can't sing it. Any chance... How many bloody Jurassic World films are they? I lose track. Any chance for Gyökeres to United? We've done that one. Hey, Mark, spent $300 for the Man United game in the US. Is it worth it, says Alan. I don't judge people. Well, I do. If you want to spend $300 watching Man United play a pre-season game in the US, then who am I to judge? All I hope for is that you get a half-decent game and the players that you want to see play 45 minutes, because it does depend on many things. Somebody just said in the chat, are you balding? No. I've had this hairline for about 20 years and it's not going on the top, so no. I'm past caring now, but I'm not. My dad is as bald as a boiled egg, and so was his dad, and so was his brother. So from the age of about 10 to 14, I used to cry myself to sleep thinking I'm going to be bald like Duncan Goodhue when I'm 22. Because in them days, the technology around rugs on your head were non-existent. So, and I always liked my hair. Like I've always done different things with my hair. I actually like hair. So it's miraculous that I didn't go bald. But my dad said to me, "You're not going to go bald," when I was about 23, and I said, "Why?" And he said, "Because if you were going bald, you would have noticed it starts going there at about 20 and also there." And he said it's just not doing it at all. So it must be true. I always thought it was a myth, but apparently it's your mother's side. But who's got a bald mum? I never understand that. Loads of people said to me, it's not your dad's side, it's your mum's side. I said, but mum, who's got a bald mum? I've never seen a bald mum. But I think what they mean is like it's on your mum's side, so your mum's brothers and the dads, etc. We're showcasing... I have seen a bald mum. Not Mrs. Goldbridge. We're showcasing Nkunku to Jim Radcliffe, so he buys him from us. We appreciate your business, Mark. Yeah. I actually think this is what Chelsea are doing, Matthew. I think they actually are so confident that they'd beat Fluminese anyway that they've given Nkunku a start so that they can put him in the shop window. I did see that Bayern Munich are interested in him though. So I think Cole Palmer's been very quiet in this game. But look at Chelsea's bench. Madueke, Jackson. All right, it's not that good. I want to see this Anselmino play. Meant to be very good. Second half about to start. They have about half an hour half times here, don't they? Right, players ready to go. Oh, look, I'll do these last couple of games with the Club World Cup simply to go live with you lot and have a chat about different things. What are you drinking, Mark, says Dr. Dan. So I like Malbec. Famously kept the bottle, actually. So this was bought by the chat for the Europa League final. And basically I said, I'm going to get a bottle of Malbec for the final. And then people started doing super chats saying, I'll give you a £5 for it. And it got out of hand, and we ended up with 150 quid. So this is the bottle. I've kept it as a memory of what that community is. So that was 150 quid bottle of Malbec red wine, which I've got to be honest, tastes no different to the £12 bottle I get from Tesco. Yeah, I'd say that red wine Malbec is probably my favourite drink now. Yeah, I really do like it. I like a lager and I like a gin and tonic, and I do like a Guinness and everything like that. But I think I did this thing about a year ago I'll tell you now. Let me just get the second half ready to go. I did this thing about a year ago called Zoe. I wasn't cheating on Mrs. Goldbridge. Who sleeps with someone called Zoe? I don't want to offend anyone called Zoe, but you really should have a word with your parents. So this Zoe thing is like an app that you can use where it measures your bloods. You have to stand up for a stool sample or as a shit sample, and it tells you over the period of a month what foods and drinks suit you and what don't suit you, like what spikes your blood sugar, your blood fat, everything like that. It was really interesting to do for a month. I don't do it anymore. And basically, red wine scored really well for me. Not that I can drink it for breakfast, but like a glass of red wine scored quite positive. Everything's ranked out of 100. So if you eat a bloody apple, it's 100. And if you eat a Big Mac, it's like 2. But a glass of red wine for me was like 62, whereas a lager was like 28. So there's definitely something in it as well, because if I have a couple of glasses of red wine, tomorrow morning I feel fine. If I have a couple of pints, I can feel it. So your body reacts to different things. Asahi is brilliant. I love Asahi, Jack. It's my favourite lager at the moment. You know, like I always say, I'm not a lager snob. Everyone always says, what's your favourite lager? And I always go, oh, I'll have a Carling, or I don't really care. Got to say, I've got into Asahi this summer. It's a lovely pint. It really is. It's probably the hipster pint at the moment. I've gone off Madry. David Bowie named his son Zoe Bowie, says James. Hendrick to United on loan, Mark, would you? Says B. I don't know. All I know about, I'll always be honest about players. All I know about Hendrick is he's the next Pele. I've never really watched much of him, if I'm being honest. You know, in Australia, what's your best lager? Do you like Foster's? Come on, Fluminese, get a goal back. I do think that Chelsea have done well to get through, but I do think the Brazilian teams have given them a game every time, and I think they've come out of this tournament with a lot of credit. Riley, the Man United, says channel struggling to grow in Canada. Any advice? What channel? Foster's is crap in Australia, says Alan. No one drinks Foster's in Australia, says Reese. It's a UK thing, says Frox. Call that a knife? Is Castlemaine 4X a beer in lager in Australia? Lots of craft beers in Australia. Oh, what's that bloody... It's so good. He runs a craft beer bar, and it's about a dog. It's a comedy. It's one of the... You know, I was talking earlier about the lack of good situational comedy. There was a brilliant series I watched. It's so good. It's one of the best comedies I've seen in years, and there's not many good ones. And it was in Australia. And this dog gets run over, and it makes this couple sort of get to know each other. And he runs a craft beer bar. Someone in the chat will know it. This chat's better than Google. There'll be somebody in here who will answer that question in no time. And they haven't. Colin from Accounts, that's it. Colin from Accounts. Well done. There we go. Everyone's answering it now. Colin from Accounts. Watch it. It's really good. It's really good. And he has a craft beer bar in Australia. Colin from Accounts. I'm sure they were going to do another series, but I haven't seen it yet. Colin from Accounts. 2 seasons. Apparently it's a romance, but I thought it was more of a comedy. It was very good. When's season 3 out? Oh, God, they're doing a time jump. Chelsea, cross back into the box, back post, corner. Clarkson's Hawks is nice. I've got a couple of that. I didn't even know it was Clarkson. I'm definitely going to open a pub. I've got a mate who has got a couple of pubs. In fact, he's got 3. So I'm going to have a word with him and say, I want to open a pub. I'll pay for it. You run it. The Goldbridge Arms, yeah. I just got to decide where I'm going to put it. I don't think I can put it in Manchester because even some Man United fans don't like me and Man City fans definitely don't like me. So it's probably not a good idea to put it in Manchester. I'm thinking the Cotswolds, New York. That's where I'd bloody do it. Although he won't run it in New York because he lives in Nottingham. Still or sparkling water, says Paul. This is a poll. When I go to the pub and have a meal, I always have a bottle of sparkling water, like just for the table. I jump in. Doesn't matter whether I'm out with other people. I would always go, can we get a bottle of sparkling water? I wouldn't even ask the table whether they want still or sparkling. But at home, I would never drink it. Trouble with sparkling water is it's not good for your air distribution. Still water's a lot better for you. Thanks for all the super chats tonight, by the way, and all the new subscribers. You're very welcome. Join us tomorrow. Look, we do a daily video which does really well, sort of transfer news, etc., topical news. But during the season, there's a lot of these. So Premier League, Champions League, watch-alongs. I'm looking forward to the Champions League this year. I really enjoyed it last year. I really did. I think the Champions League basically is the Super League now. Who do you think is going to win the Champions League, Andrew? I think teams take the Champions League a lot more seriously now. They know there's a lot of money in it. I think you can make very big money in the Champions League now, and I think that you look at what... I don't think Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea and Man City are buying all these players just to win the Premier League. I think they want to win the Premier League, but I think they want to win the Champions League as well. And I think they realise that if they want to do that, you've got to compete with the likes of PSG and Real Madrid. So I think they're building these big squads. So I think, shot from Chelsea there, just wide, Cucurella. I think that they are... I think all the English teams have got a good chance. I think PSG can get better. Have PSG bought anybody yet? Slow Sports News, but Evan Ferguson to Roma. He'd do all right there. What's Capello doing now, apart from sitting at the MetLife? I tell you what, though, in fairness, if somebody had said to me, do you fancy going over to do the Club World Cup for a month in New York? I'd have said yes. Yes, please. Can't wait for the NFL to come back as well. Can't wait. We do the Super Bowl every year. I love it. It's one of my favourite streams of the year. Arsenal will win it with Gyökeres, Eze, Saka, Rice and co, says Zane. Look, I think Arsenal have finished second for the last couple of years and they've added a striker, a really good midfielder. If they get Mascara, I think he's decent. Norgard will give him some depth, and then you could still get Rodrigo, Eze, Madueke. 2 of those from that 3. So, yeah, I think Arsenal have to win the league this year. But, lovely ball over the top for Fluminese. He's got no support. Absolutely none. Has a good shot. Keeper saves it. Yeah, I think that... but Liverpool won the league by a lot. and they've still got Alisson, and they've still got Salah, and they've still got Van Dijk. And that midfield was brilliant last year. And they've added in Wirtz and Frimpong and Kirkes. So I think we'll get a title race. I hope we're going to get a title race. And you can't dismiss Man City and Chelsea. I got told, and I don't know whether I've been lied to or it's optimism or it's actually good info, but I got told Man City court case update in the next 10 days. So let's wait and see. I'll believe it when I see it. It won't be a verdict. Well, it could. Oh, Chelsea got a 4v2. This could be the game. Oh, what a goal. It's Pedro again. He's done it again. What a goal. Off the Denver as well. Oh, this guy. This Pedro signing looks like an absolute... I mean, Chelsea fans, fair play. He looks like the guy. He looks like the guy. Absolutely incredible finish by Pedro. Cuts inside and smashes the shit out of it. He nearly broke the bar. What a hit. He picks it up on the left-hand side. He's peeled off to get a bit of space. He attacks the box. He cuts inside onto his right foot and bang. And you're not saving that. I mean, you don't know. You know what? 5 goalkeepers don't save that because it's got such power and such trajectory. I mean, it's hit the underside of the bar and gone in. Don't show me PO. I can't look at it. It'll make me throw up. I can't look at POV. I can't look at it. Makes me feel ill. This is exciting for Chelsea because we've been talking about this for the last couple of years. Every time I watch Chelsea, I go, you need a top striker and a top goalkeeper, and then the journey starts. Still don't rate the goalkeeper. I don't know why they didn't get Maignan, but up front, that looks good. I mean, Delap's never going to be that. Delap's never going to be that. I'm sorry. I don't know what the pathway for Delap is, but he ain't that. That's something a bit different. Delap's a traditional English striker. Pedro is a fusion of creativity, dribbling, and finishing. Yeah, very good. Very, very good. I said Chelsea would win this. I think Fluminese have given it a go. But, I mean, look, Chelsea's team's better than them. EC says Chelsea going to cook next year. I put Chelsea third next year. Fusion is a great word, says it is. When we collide, we come together. If we don't, we'll always be apart. Fusion. I'll take a bruise and know you're worth it. When you hit me hard. What a song that is. Biffy Clyro. I hope João Pedro's okay here because that was a nothing. Oh, he's all right. He's up. Delap should have come to United. Up the Belfast. Cliftonville says United's call. Quality up front United can only dream of, says 1 Inch Wonder. Salah is tired now. Gyökeres is our Haaland, says Zane. Crook says, if you're taking Chelsea in third, whose place do you think they take? City. Yeah, I'm not convinced about City. I think Pep's there because of the money. And I think Man City kept Pep because of desperation, because there was nobody else. I think Pep was meant to go this summer. And if his head's not in it and the players aren't in it. Gary says, got to give it to Chelsea. Previous owners and new owners, they always bring in the best. They will be a dark horse. Look, whether it's Abramovich or Bowley, they get the piss taken out of them for what they spend, but they relentlessly spend until they get there. And I've always said, Chelsea fans do complain, and it's their club, and they've got every right to complain, but I'd rather have an idiot in charge who wants to keep spending till they get it right than people who haven't got a bloody clue what they're doing. Centurion says, when are you doing your Premier League predictions? Mate, I can't understand. I mean, people must be really struggling for content if they're doing early Premier League predictions. I'm not doing mine for another month. It kicks off on the 15th of August. Why would I do Premier League? I mean, anybody who's doing it now is doing it so they can do it again and again and again. My Premier League predictions is done right before the season. And even then, the window's still open. So technically, I should do it again on September the 1st. But I do mine just before the start of the season. I'm not desperate for content. Thierry says, Chelsea's biggest test will be the final. Well, it'll be the hardest game they play in the entire tournament. When you look at PSG, they've had to play Bayern in the quarterfinal, Real Madrid in the semi-final, and Chelsea in the final. It's just the way the draw's gone, hasn't it? Why did Delap go to Chelsea to destroy his career, says Sanyik? I think Delap will get game time. But if he thinks he's going to be the starter, he's in for a rude awakening. Jack Richards says, fixture congestion, inexperience, and a diabolical goalkeeper will cost Chelsea next season. I tell you what, I don't know whether it's me, and I really like him, but Cole Palmer's been quiet. And he's a fantastic player. So I think that's a good thing for Chelsea, that they've, they're not as reliant on Palmer as maybe they are perceived to be. I think that's a positive for Chelsea. Cole Palmer's a fantastic player, absolutely fantastic. But I haven't really noticed him as much tonight, and I think that's good. I think that's a good thing. They've got some really good players. I think Neto's fantastic on his day. Enzo Fernandez, Casido. You've got João Pedro now. Obviously, you've got Cole Palmer. You've still got Gittins and Esteval to come in. And I think you'll sign Garnacho, I do. And I don't think that's a bad signing. I really don't. But look, going back to what the criticism of Chelsea would be, the goalkeeper's a problem. He will cost you goals. And there is a lot of football to play. And the team is a bit inexperienced. And third of all, how much will this impact you? How much will the Club World Cup impact you? Jason Marsh says, do you think Delap would have signed if Pedro had signed first? I would like to think that he wasn't that naive. Second goal was made by Palmer, says Jason. Yeah, but it was a pass to the halfway line, mate. Don't turn him into Bruno. I mean, Bruno goal contributions are basically pass it 5 yards, someone shoots from 40 yards out. Goal creation, sorry. Starting 11 prediction for England versus who you want, says Andrew. I will get into England in the World Cup. I got into England with fucking Southgate in charge, so I'll definitely get into it with Tuchel in charge. But I'm not enamoured by what he's doing. I'm disappointed, actually. Some people in England never wanted a German coach. I don't give a toss. But I don't like what he's doing. Fucking Jordan Henderson in the team, and yeah, I don't like what he's doing. I don't know what England's best team is, really. I still think we need a decent goalkeeper. Our better centre-backs are getting old. This should be 3. And Kunku cleared off the line. Yeah, but obviously you've got people like Cole Palmer, Jude Bellingham, Declan Rice. We've got some really quality players. I don't think Harry Kane actually suits the way we want to play. And I think that's a bit highbrow for some people because some people are so literal in their football. Like, I remember saying 18 months ago, Erling Haaland doesn't start for Liverpool. And Liverpool fans got it, but no one else did. And my point was, if you watch Liverpool and the way they play, Haaland wouldn't suit them. Because then their striker... Well, look, sadly... I don't like mentioning the name, but we should mention the name because we're talking about them as a footballer. Jota worked really well for Liverpool because he wasn't an out... I hate saying wasn't, but he wasn't a out-and-out striker. And his ability to play in the half spaces, he can score goals, but he brings other people into the play, allowing Diaz and Salah to move past him and basically score goals. Erling Haaland wouldn't do that for you, and that was my whole point. So it's not always... Look, Haaland's one of the best strikers in the world. And literal people go, oh, as if the best striker in the world wouldn't start for Liverpool. But my point was, have you watched Liverpool play? Have you watched the system? And when I look at England, Harry Kane is one of the best strikers in the world. Absolutely. No doubt. But when he plays for England, he's slow and he doesn't play on the last man. He drops into the midfield. But we've got Cole Palmer. We've got Jude Bellingham. We don't need you to drop into the midfield and play as a holding midfielder. We need you to play on the last man and make runs. And what a shot that was, just wide from Gusto. And that's why in the Euros, we were better when Ollie Watkins came on. Because Ollie Watkins plays on the last man and runs the channels. Harry Kane's a better player than Ollie Watkins, but Ollie Watkins suited England better because he plays on the last man, tries to get in the box. And that's my big problem with Kane. I don't think he suits the way we want to play, but I think we're absolutely terrified of dropping one of the world's best strikers. So it's a hot take, it's a controversial take, but I think England would have a better chance by not putting Harry Kane up front and dropping him. But we won't. Would you take Jackson at United? Incredibly, yes. That's how bad the situation is at United. Still water has beaten sparkling water by 78% to 22%. You don't get this on Match of the Day. We've still got 22 minutes to go here. I mean, this game's over. Keep the good chat coming in. That's the Malbec done for this week. So normally I get a bottle of Malbec on a Thursday. Open it on a Friday. And I have a glass over the weekend, sometimes a glass and a half. And then on a Monday, Tuesday, sometimes there's some left. 2 players you'd buy at United. We need more than 2, Sam. 2 players you'd sign from Chelsea. There you go. Need a new poll as well. If I had to take 2 players from... If I could take 2 players from Chelsea for Manchester United... assuming we sign Mbeumo, why would I sign Cole Palmer? And I don't know why I would do that. So I would take... I think Cole Palmer's brilliant, but I wouldn't take him for this United side because I'm over-subscribing my number 10s. So I would probably take João Pedro based on this game. And I would take... Well, I'm not going to take your goalkeeper, even though I want one. I'd take one of your midfielders. I'd take Casido. Yeah, I'd take Casido and stick him in there. Yeah, I'd take Casido and Pedro because our number one priority is a striker, our number two priority is a goalkeeper, and our number three priority is a midfielder. So I wouldn't take your goalkeeper, but I'd take Casido and Pedro. Even though, obviously, Cole Palmer's your best player, but it's not a priority for us in that position. And we're so desperate for priorities that we, shot over the bar from Fluminese. How much water do you drink in a day? I don't think I drink. I think it's the secret to my success. I don't think I'd be a brilliant YouTuber if I didn't drink water. If I drank like Ribena, I'd probably just be working in a bank. You're meant to drink 2 litres, I think. I sort of made myself drink water. Somebody told me when I was about 22, water is like the secret sauce. And I don't normally listen to people, but I did, and I made myself. I never mind if I'm thirsty, I will drink water. But I got to the point where having a Coke or a Ribena was a treat, and I just religiously drink water unless I'm having a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or I'm out at a pub. I don't drink fizzy drinks. I don't drink cordial. I just drink water all the time. Socks on in bed or off in bed? Off, Dylan. Off. Definitely off. I sleep naked. It would look stupid if I walked around in a pair of socks. It's funny how Osman goes to Galatasaray and not Man United. It's not funny at all, Sarper. Is it funny if your cat gets taken to the vet and put down? It's not funny that Man United are suffering. No, he's going to Galatasaray for the money, mate. Unfortunately, Osman is a fantastic player, but the rumours are true. His next move was a financial one. He wanted to go to Saudi, and the only reason he's going to Galatasaray is because they've got good tax laws, and he's going to earn a lot of money there. Who's bigger and most successful, Chelsea or Arsenal? Says KD. Arsenal. Look, Man United's a bigger club than Spurs. Spurs won the Europa League. It's such an inflammatory topic, because I think, you know what? I'll pay Chelsea a compliment. Like, my dad supports Chelsea, by the way. I don't know whether many people know that, but he does. The reason I'll never really understand, but he does. Anyway, I will play a compliment to Chelsea. When I were a kid in the late 80s and I got into football, Chelsea was shit. Chelsea were really shit. Kerry Dixon, David Speedy, Pat Nevin. Chelsea were rubbish. You used to park your car behind the goal. That's not a joke. I put that in my book and people thought it was a joke. There are some jokes in the book. Definitely. Check it out. Goldbridge Saves Football. Or no, it's called Goldbridge According to God. I've got a book, basically. It's a good book. But I put it in about Chelsea, and loads of people have said to me, you're joking about that. No. Stamford Bridge, you used to park your car behind the goal. Look it up. Not everybody. It would be ridiculous. But it was a Greyhound track, wasn't it? Or something like that. Chelsea was shit. There's a famous picture of Chelsea getting beat 7-0. In the Premier League era, wasn't it? By Nottingham Forest. They were rubbish. And basically, they got money in. I think it was Abramovich, wasn't it? Or was it before that? Because they had that guy who died in the helicopter crash, Matthew Harding. I remember that happening as well. They were sort of on the way back, weren't they? Can't remember. I don't know enough about Chelsea's history, but there was a guy called Matthew Harding. I don't know whether Abramovich had bought the club there or not, but things were starting around that time. And then obviously Mourinho came in after Ranieri. They won the league. John Terry, Frank Lampard, Drogba, Mourinho, Ancelotti, Sarri, all the success, Conte. But it's not... They were a shit club in the 80s. And over the last 20 years, they've absolutely done fantastic. But they're not a bigger club than Arsenal, and Chelsea know that. And Man City are not a bigger club than Man United, and Man City know that. Because it's not just about what you've done in the last 20 or 10 years. To be a big club, there is an understood rule that it's got to be for a longer period of time. So, yeah, Arsenal are a bigger club than Chelsea. But Chelsea's last 20 years has been fantastic. From where they were to where they are. And look, I'd admit, for Man City as well, from where they were to where they are, it's incredible what they've done. The reasons why, we can all debate, but it's fairly recent success. Although, I think Chelsea were quite decent at one point when they had people like Osgood. I remember Osgood being a name. The two biggest clubs in England by a long way are Manchester United and Liverpool. But when I look at Man United now, 10 years of mediocrity, and as I said, I think the Premier League is the new Super League. And you look at what the top four have done this summer, nobody can compete with that. And I think the Super League already exists. You're going to go to any United games this season, says Sam. Yeah, I try. I mean, throughout my life, I've always done 2 or 3 a season. And Seb went to his first game last year, so he's desperate to go. I think actually I'm going to end up going to a lot more, because it's as much as this is like, well, it's my job, isn't it? But when you got a kid saying I want to go and watch Man United play, I'm not going to. It depends what type of person you are, but I'm not going to go, I've got to work. It's just like, I'll think I've got to work, and then that voice will go, you won't get these memories back. So, yeah, I think I will. Hayder says Arsenal were a big club in the 1930s. No one cares. Yeah, mate, Arsenal were also a massive club in the late 90s and the early noughties under Arsene Wenger. It wasn't that long ago. I mean, you might have still been up your mum's chuff, but Arsenal were also winning the first division in the early 90s as well. Like, Arsenal have been a big club my whole life, and I'm 92, apparently. 2 European clubs in the final. Respect to the Brazilian clubs, but why are Saudi and American clubs even here? Money taking over the beautiful games is cinema drunk. Look, the Club World Cup hasn't been a success. Infantino has swallowed the money over morality. Players don't need this tournament, and it's too big, and nobody's bought into it. But one positive for me, because I'll always try and find a positive, I think the Brazilian league has come out of this with real credibility, because and it's such stupidity actually, because the Brazilian league has been a pipeline of world-class talent for 30-40 years, but who watches the Brazilian league? And what's impressed me about it is it's fast, it's tenacious, and it's held up. Like, even I know, look, Chelsea have won 2-0, but Chelsea have played well. And Chelsea have got better players than Fluminese. But they've actually given them a game. In an intensity point of view, they've actually done really well. Who do you think will win the final? Oh, side netting there from Nicholas Jackson. I want credit for this. Funnily enough, I'm not unconvinced that Chelsea might win the final. Now, in a normal Champions League setting, PSG or Real Madrid would beat them. But this is not this is like a summer exhibition tournament, isn't it? And look, PSG looked a bit tired against Bayern Munich to me, and also PSG looked like a bit confused. So I wouldn't be surprised that Chelsea might win the final. You know, 100 million quid as well, says Guess Who. What are United's realistic striker targets, says Casper? I mean, I don't know. I mean, look, Rashford's begging to come back to training. I wouldn't be surprised if we used him. Gems has gifted 5 memberships. You're an absolute gem, Gems. Thank you very much for that. PSG at their best will batter Chelsea, and I think everybody knows that. But it just depends. Like, I thought Bayern Munich actually could have beat PSG, which normally would never be a conversation. That makes it more interesting anyway. I'm just trying to make it be interesting. Does Arsenal have support in North and South London, says KD? I don't know. I presume they would. Hope you're keeping well over the summer, says Bartley. You too as well. Cinema Drunk says 2 European clubs in the final. Respect to the brilliant Brazilian clubs. I've done that one, haven't I? Vibor says, how many countries have you been to? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know actually. Spain, France, Italy, Switzerland, Germany. I've been to a lot of Spain. Balearics, Canary Islands, obviously United States, Wales. Never been to Scotland. There's a lot more places I want to go. 8 minutes to go here. We've done all right out of this. 9,000 watching. Fair play. What's Romano saying? Don't know. I will give you an update on the latest football news. Alvaro Morata will be joining Como. Mason Mount's put an Instagram post out. It's amazing what you pay for that. Arsenal are prepared to offer a swap. Eze and look set to beat Tottenham to his signature. That's from, it's from The Sun. Agreement in place for Galatasaray and Osman from Pletigol. Romano says, Manchester United has noted the potential cost of a deal for Calvert-Lewin, who will be open and excited to join, but there are no concrete negotiations. The club will assess their option and consider the possibilities they have for the striker. If they sign Calvert-Lewin, can I get a transfer? Where shall I go? United stands is up for transfer. We're going to become something else stand. Where would I go? Could never go Liverpool. Could never go Man City. The Arsenal stand. That's Football already gets more views than AFTV, so we may as well have That's Football as Arsenal. And Yeah, I don't know. The Wrexham stand. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to Forest. What are United done that one? Oh, Fluminese nearly getting one back there. Were we ever in County Kerry? Says Joe. I've been everywhere around Ireland. I definitely would have been there. Do you want to visit Bristol? I've been, Coolio. Milford says, have you noticed that Nkunku played the whole game? They're not bloody stupid. They're not stupid. They know what they're doing. Brian in Birmingham. Oh no, it's been deleted. Don't worry about that. Do you think Man United missed out on João Pedro? I don't think Man United missed out on João Pedro. I mean, Newcastle wanted him, Chelsea wanted him. Unless he was a childhood Man United fan, I don't think he got a chance. Cunha wants to play for Manchester United. So Newcastle and Chelsea are both in the Champions League. So I think whether João Pedro would be suitable for Man United or not, unless he's a childhood Man United fan, you wouldn't have a chance. What was the last film you watched in the cinema? Oh, God. You know what? That's a bit like your pet's name is your porno's name. Your first pet's name is your porn name, isn't it? Or something stupid like that. Yeah, this is not, for somebody who's like really into film, this is not good. But I think it's a fair reflection of modern cinema, because the last film I watched in the cinema was actually Bridget Jones' About a Boy. Oh. That's shameful. Imagine that at your funeral, and his last film that he loved film, and his last film he went to watch was Bridget Jones' About a Boy. I do like the Bridget Jones films. I'm very open to anything. But you're talking to somebody who loves Heat, The Departed, Godfather, Jaws. Classic, great films. Bridget Jones' About a Boy is not the film I want to be remembered as my last film. But in fairness, what's in modern cinema that's any good? They don't make good films anymore. Tell you what I watched the other day. A Few Good Men. Early 90s films are massively underrated. There's so many good films from the early 90s and they're so well made. Anyway, Few Good Men, Jack Nicholson, brilliant. Even Tom Cruise and Demi Moore are good in it. Apparently the F1 film was crap. William says, hair looks a lot greyer recently, Mark. Silver Fox. Might be the sun as well. I mean, look, it looks really dark at the back there. Might be the lighting. My hair looks a lot better than now than it did in my 30s. I was looking at some pictures the other week of me in my 30s and it's that colour. Just doesn't suit me. It's all like very dark. I actually think the greyness gives it a bit of a tint. Current favourite United player, Mark, says Ahmad. Cunha, because he hasn't disappointed me yet. No, I do. I still look. I would have sold him, but I still do like Bruno. That's never going to change. I like Ahmad. I wouldn't say there's a player at the club I really, really dislike. There's a lot that I don't think are good enough. 89 minutes. I mean, Chelsea could have won this 3 or 4 second half. The fitness levels have really shown. Funny thing is, in the semi-final, Fluminese are not the best Brazilian team. Palmeiras and Flamengo are both better than them. I think Rasmus will come back this season, mark my words, says Fade. Look, I'd love that to happen, but it's still inexcusable not to buy a striker. Oral says, I think Liverpool are going to win the league this season. I really, really obviously don't want Liverpool to win the league for obvious reasons. Being a United fan, you can't want that the same way you wouldn't want that. But I really hope we get a title race. Because the relegation race, I don't think will exist. And the title race last year was a bit dull. So I really hope we get a title race. What are you doing next? I'm watching a series on iPlayer, actually. Ooh, iPlayer. Ooh. Actually, this is actually quite good. I don't have to tell you the series I'm watching, but I can tell you the platform I'm watching it on. So I've just finished The Gold, which I would recommend to anybody. A brilliant series. It's on BBC iPlayer called The Gold. It's brilliant. 2 seasons. Really, really enjoyed it. And I'm watching another series on iPlayer at the moment. Mobland, Paramount Plus. Watch that. I know one of the actors in Mobland. Big Man United fan. He's in Kin as well. Good actor. So yeah, I'm gonna watch an episode of that. My favourite player is Anana. He's so composed, says 1 Inch Wonder. Yeah, he's about as composed as a bloody plastic bag in the wind. Go on, Fluminese. Get a consolation. Cross to the back post. Oh, he's headed it wide. Is Chelsea's midfield 3 of Palmer, Enzo and Caicedo the best in the Premier League? Shut up. Shut up, GJ. What are Liverpool's midfield doing? Playing golf? Just won the bloody league. They're potentially the best midfield in the league, but they're not the best midfield in the league. Oh, Caicedo's gone down here. What's he done? Oh, you don't want this, Chelsea. None of us want this. Hopefully it's nothing too bad, but he seemed to have overstretched. Watch Day of the Jackal, Mark, says Dylan. A lot of people have recommended that, actually. Another Messiala. Didn't see anything like that. I think it might have been a... Oh, no, it is ankle. I think he's all right. I think he's all right. I mean, look, this is the problem with these types of tournaments, isn't it? Do you need to be in them? But he's all right. He's fine. Walking on it. Probably just turned it a little bit. People forget that, though. People talk about the injuries later in the season from the volume of games they've got to play. But you can also just pick up injuries in a game, can't you? As we saw with Musiala. United stand after this. Why? There's nothing to talk about. We've done 3 shows on the United stand today. We should get a bloody medal for it. There's nothing to talk about. To be fair, the 7 o'clock show was good because it was from the training ground, some information, but no, I'm not going live at 10 o'clock about nothing. No way. Leave the Rashford stuff for tomorrow. I don't want to go to bed in a bad mood. I think Casido's back. Oh, no, he's not back on yet, but I think he's okay. Well, he wants to come back on. So good news for Chelsea. Yeah, he's coming back on. It's funny, though, that, I mean, this is the thing about footballers. You see them go down sometimes and you think, oh, shit, they could be out for 6 months. And they're in genuine pain. And then 6 minutes later, they're absolutely fine. And if you've ever played the game, it's so true. Like, you can be... Like, I've never done a hamstring before, and I was playing 5-a-side in February, and I ran, and I felt a pop, and I thought, shit, I've done my hamstring. I'm going to be in agony. And I was, but I could still sort of jog a little bit, and then 2 days later, it was fine. So I'd obviously just tweaked it. So I am doing PSG Real Madrid tomorrow night, yes, on this channel. I'm looking forward to that because they will be motivated by the money. Havertz or Rasmus, says Gunners. I mean, Havertz has got a better Premier League record, I'm not going to lie. Cross into the box. Oh, they're not going to win, but that would have been a great end to the adventure for Fluminese. Cross came into the box. He went for the overhead kick, but he got it very, very, very wrong. I'd say there'll be a lot of people at the game tomorrow. Although, again, it's still kicking off at 3 o'clock on a Wednesday. Casido is coming off now. Looks like it's one of those, I'll try and run it off. And then precautionary off. Although it is the end of the game. Probably shouldn't have gone back on, really, should he? Finals on Sunday night at 8 o'clock UK time. He's probably just tweaked a ligament, hasn't he, or something like that. How far would United have gone in this tournament? JFK Airport. I mean, and then they'd have sent us home and said, don't bother. The little arrow on the subs should be green, in my opinion, says Connell. Well, I just realised what you're talking about. No, it would look shit. It's a contrast to everything else. The only thing I don't like about the American stadiums is the big yellow bit. Like the big high bit there. Like it's... I don't know why they have them in US stadiums, but they have these big, like, high before the stadium starts. I don't know why they do that. So Chelsea into the Club World Cup final. I mean, Man City will feel a bit silly because it's good money, isn't it? There we go. Maresca's happy. They're into the final. Look, you can only beat what's in front of you. And they will play a final against Real Madrid or PSG. And we will be back tomorrow night for that. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in. As ever, absolute legends. Really appreciate it. And I will be back with you tomorrow for that and on the United Stand normally as well. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I'll speak to you all in a bit.